Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Pocket Captains Plays Star Trek Fleet Command. That's right, I'm taking a little change, a little break, although you can see I've been playing this for a little while because I'm now currently on level 14, as you can tell from the upper left-hand corner. I don't have a mouse pointer this time, so it's going to be a little hard navigating the screen for you. I'm playing from the iPad, not from the Mac. But I thought, since I've been playing around with this, I've been trying to figure out where to place this. Is this a strategy game? Or what is this? It certainly is a space game, and that's right up my alley. And let's face it, I'm a Star Trek fan. I think, some of you out there who play these strategy space games are probably also Star Trek fans. We grew up in the area, and I wanted to see what this thing had to offer. Now, I've also played Nova Empire, which also centers around a space station, and I found a lot of space station interaction, and I found it was very controlling. This is a lot less controlling. I can't say it's the eye candy that Nova Empire is, but for Star Trek fans, the stuff was already there. Now, I'm going to take a quick tour of what's going on. First of all, this I kept in the upper right hand corner was flashing that green Star Trek icon. Right now it's purple, letting me know that I had some lucre. And over here you see the flashing claim. It's got a 3 on the right hand side. It's flashing below the Star Trek logo. I'm going to click on that now. And this is one of the ways this game keeps you coming back. I mean, there's a 10-minute free chest, a 4-hour free chest, a 24-hour free chest. And if you keep coming back to the game, or if you stay in the game, if you're playing the 10-minute free chest, they reward you with goodies, cash and prizes. So this is how they keep you in the game, or how they keep you coming back. And if you stick with it, if you play it enough, you can definitely get some good cash and prizes. The research tree, which I'll take you to now, is actually pretty good. So we'll go over to the research tree. This is combat tree. These are the various things we can get. Hull density, unlock Orion Corvette. That's the type of ship. And there are many ships. We'll come to those in a minute. But you can increase like shield efficiency there is for me to get to research. Some of these are a little tricky, like prime shields. None of them require a lot of dilithium crystals, which of course you can find. These 3-star gas orbs you see on there. There's an orb, there's sort of that purple haze. I got 0 of 100 with 3 stars. Pretty well you have to go to the higher level of the game. I don't even know why they put it so early in the game. And that's one of the issues I'm having with the game is the balancing issues. There are some aspects of this game that are just not very well balanced. But as you can see, I'm researching through shield penetration. I got this stuff. Let's do that. 5 hours. Ask for help. If you become part of a fleet, you can ask your fleet members to give you help. In fact, you can help them too. And I don't have any current requests for help. If I did, I would go and help them out. And you would say, oh, another green icon up there. Milestone achieved. Thanks for the titanium. There is mining, which you can do through gas clouds, and you can do through mining ships. And you see here, at the bottom here in my dock, I have 2 types of mining ships. Well, before I send them out and showing you all the wonders of mining, let me give you some idea of what kind of ships you can get. Hit the manage button here. And I have the swap ship in the upper left-hand corner. I can upgrade the ship. I don't have any available upgrades right now. On the bottom there, you can see upgrade. There would be an exclamation mark letting me know I could do something, but I haven't gathered the resources I need to upgrade the ship. There are some nice upgrades you can do for these ships, or you can swap the ship. And there are various ships you can get. This is a battleship, the Tala. This is an interceptor. Now you can see they're from different races. You're basically playing a neutral race in this game, an independent. So you can acquire ships from different people. There's an old starship. I can have this ship. It's a Torres. Actually, you start off with this one, a single nacelle USS, what was it called? The Rialta. The Rialta was actually kind of a fun little ship to drive around in, very reminiscent of the new Star Trek movies, the reboot movies. But I've also got a couple of these freighters that just run around and they go and they do their mining for me. There is a combat system. In fact, we'll go pick a fight just for fun. We'll send out this one, the Torres. Assign the ship. Assigning officers. You can acquire officers throughout the game, and you can see that you've got Cadet Sulu, Cadet Scotty, Cadet Kirk. This is the crew I have on here currently because that's a good mining crew. This is my mining ship. But you can get Klingons, Romulans. There's all sorts of different choices. So if you're feeling nostalgic for that Star Trek feel, this is it. Now, these different crew members in different combinations bring different assets, especially the top 3. You notice they're 30% enhancing. They not only the primary characteristic of, say, this guy has certain abilities, but the primaries of the other character, he's actually the driver of the ship, but the primaries of the other ones enhance his abilities. They share an ability. So getting good combinations allows you to, if you see the bonuses on the right-hand side, 10, 20, 20, you can do various things to play with the bonuses by trying different crewmen out. So there's a certain interaction. So there we are, and it's all about the ships. But I'll take the ship out in a minute. Let's go to the interior. The bottom right-hand corner of the station there, it says Interior and System. Let's go to Interior. Now this, when I first saw it, was extremely confusing. And I have to admit, it will be confusing for people who are new to the game. This one with the grain 14 on it, that's basically the center of your station. It's the operations. This is where you basically, this is the main leveling up center. If you click on this, you will level up through the different levels of the game. You notice it's stuck at 14. I'm at 14. There's a reason for that. When I go to 15 on PvP. But as you saw from the research I was doing, which is over here to the left of that, I don't feel I'm ready for PvP because, yeah, I can speed that up. That's not what I wanted to do. Getting back in there is tricky. I have to go through the star dock, then go into the requirements. I'm back in the research. Prime speed, I'm going to get that later. Shields, interceptor repairs, prime protection. These are all station upgrades I need to get. You see me looking at the combat upgrades. I'm working on those. Then there's the galaxy ones I think come later, like warp technology. Yeah, I have to be R&D level 20. I want to make sure that before I go into PvP that I've got my ship as high as I can get. I've only got 2 of these guns here. They're both locked at level 14. Again, balancing issues. I could level through these and I have one gun level 1 and the machine was fine with that. You have to self-pace yourself to move through these different steps slowly to make sure you've accumulated everything you can. Now, down here you have various reactors. This is a par steel reactor. It does production. And the 2 buildings ahead of it are the storage, the warehouse. Now, this is where you store it and you accumulate some materials, which you see in the upper right-hand corner. There's par steel. I have 320 of 775. That's right. You can, and this is something that's really important, you can actually acquire more material than you have storage for. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't think it makes sense to anybody, but the game lets you do that. Don't think too much about it. That's all I can say. Same thing with titanium. Far more titanium than I have storage for. Don't think about it too much. And the same with dilithium crystals. I have 13,000 of 5568. That's as much as the storage can hold. I have 2 storage things. I can add more. They pace when you can add or upgrade. But if you go below these levels, if I go below 26,250, then my titanium production facilities here will begin making titanium again to the point where the warehouse is filled. Same with dilithium crystals. They'll start making dilithium. There is a limit to how much they can store, and I can't store more until they level up. Fair enough. There's also a certain amount of protection if you're rated, which is a more complicated issue. All the ships have a protected amount of cargo that can't be taken even if your ship is destroyed. The station has a certain amount of protected cargo which can't be taken even if the ship is destroyed. There is research tech to protect more. That's a separate subject. It's another bizarre thing about this game. Don't worry about your ship being destroyed. It suddenly magically reappears in the space dock and you can repair it somehow, with some of that cargo still intact. I guess you have smuggling compartments under the hull and the enemy never finds it. This is the shipyard. That gap you see in the station is actually where the ships are built. This is the shipyard part where you're allowed to build more ships if you have the plans, which you accumulate through the game. So I have, say, 4 of 50 to make a corvette, 3 of 30 to make another Findra interceptor, 15 of 75 to make a jellyfish. So I'm quietly accumulating. The Franklin is an uncommon ship. You can get 3 different ones. And this is one of the appeals of a Star Trek game, is getting to those nicer ships. Now, this is just like a remake of the ones you've already got, a remake. There's a remake of your with a slightly improved look of your current mining ship. But then you get into the nicer Klingon. That's a Klingon ship. The Bortas, the D3, the Burrell, the D4, the Cavort. Here we have the Mayfire, the Saladin. There's some starships like Federation, Intrepid, Enterprise, Antares. Then we have Romulan. I think it's a Romulan. Legionary, Centurion, Gladius, Augur, Valkyris, Then we have Separatist class, and they're sort of again an improved version of these. So you're trying to work your way through the game to earn these great ships. I don't think the Romulan, I would love this one, the Gladius, it's very cool. I don't think they cloak. I mean, if anybody out there remembers Birth of the Federation, one of the cool parts about playing a Romulan is cloaking ships. But it's nothing to write home about. Strategy-wise, it's mostly a management. There's a bit of tactical management, like I'm purposely staying at level 14 while I work on my research. Otherwise, not a lot going on that way. Now, if you go to System, you can see what's going on in your system. Now, I'm sitting in a system with Parsteel clouds. I can set my mining ship, grab this mining ship, mine it. And off he goes, and he's happily mining away. Now, while you're out there in the system, you are vulnerable. You could be attacked, you could be pirated. Again, you have a protected part of your hold that will never go. So there's always an advantage to mining. And, guess he was sitting at the next, he was sitting at my favorite dilithium crystal cloud. If I leave here, you'll notice that the space is quite elaborate. This area without color is neutral space. It's huge. You start off in neutral space. Where the exclamation marks appears where you have a mission, something you could be doing. Blue space belongs to the Federation. Green is Romulan. Red is the Klingon Empire. Eventually, as I understand it, I will reach a point where I have to choose a faction. But right now I'm fairly neutral and I work for anybody that suits me. Now, out of all this, these different systems all offer you something different, something special, something you can mine. For example, I'm going to give you some of my favorite mining places. Don't tell anybody where I like to go. As soon as I find out where my home system is again, I'm all lost here. There it is. Up here, I was so busy showing you everything, I got lost. And you can do that very easily. But if I go over here, there's a red line. Where's the red line? There it is. That's Rigel. Now, Rigel is like an anchor point for me. It's like out of all that confusion of stars, you can see in here, there are ships you can fight. So when you're not actually on missions, and there's a lot of missions you can go on, which help you level up your ship, get you more materials, resources, claim those resources when you see them. Always helpful. That's a speed up. You can speed up ship construction and research with those. We'll come to that another time. But you can see there are ships you can attack just for leveling up your ship. Now there is a battleship. A battleship has the bomb symbols. Those bomb symbols right there. It's a higher class than mine. The one with the wings on it, those are interceptors. And there's a third one, this one here, as a matter of fact, mine, which is, what's the name of it? It's an interceptor hunter, of course. And now I'm blanking on the type of class this ship it is. It's basically an explorer. It's made for rapid movement. But the ship design is a rock, paper, scissors kind of a design. Interceptors, that last explorer ship is an interceptor hunters. The interceptors are battleship hunters, and battleships hunt the explorers. Rock, paper, scissors. Everybody has something they can counter. Everybody's got something else that they can go after. That number is the size of the ship. Level 13, for example, interceptor. My level 14 ship could destroy. So if I were to come to the system with this ship, for example, go. That'll take a minute. Because it's a pretty fast ship, it will get there very quickly, and we can see an example of what combat looks like. But coming back to my map here, here are some of my favorite places. Alonia, view the system. This one here has raw gas. Gas is one of the resources you need for the game. There's plenty of it, lots of these clouds of gas. Going back over to here, Deban, view system. It has, where is it? Any one of these will be fine. Raw ore. This is raw ore, not the same as Parsteel, and I got those confused at the beginning. So don't get those confused. They are the similar color, but they're not the same thing. Gas is not the titanium clouds, and the ore is not the, and here we have raw crystal. This is not dilithium crystals. This is raw crystal. So those are the three raw materials you're going to need for working on a regular basis. And we'll go back to this one. Locate. Locate, by the way, does not locate your quests. It locates your ship. There's our ship moving along. It's actually very cool. I'm going to give you an example of what combat's like. And it isn't cool Star Trek type, or it isn't strategy game type combat, the kind we're used to. Scan it. It'll give you a very good estimate of your ability. It's very easy. I'm much more powerful than this ship is. But, all the battles basically look the same. They all take the same amount of time. I'll do it from the point of view of this vessel. There we go. And they all look alike. So in that regard, it's very boring. There's not a lot I can do. There's a little flash of shields being destroyed, exchange of phasers and torpedoes, and it's a wash, rinse, repeat. So in this regard, the battles are very humdrum. And you'll lose a little bit. The top blue line on my ship here regards the shields, and the bottom white line regards to the hull. Once the hull's gone, the ship is destroyed and it's game over. So shields, of course, can be repaired. Up, and we're mining, I see. So I'm going to recall this one. That's the bottom button. We're going to send him home. Locate this one. And he's now sitting on that little lump, basically mining away. But now I'm going to give you another one of my secret favorite places. There's two of them. For the elusive dilithium crystals inside this neutral zone, there are two worlds. Kleidomans, view system. Don't tell anybody about these worlds, but Kleidoman has, that's tritanium. It has tritanium. Very rare dilithium crystals. Now this is where you can go if you want to overload this number up at the top here. And some of the research you need, it needs a lot more than just 5,000. So the way to get around that is, and this again is a little trick it took me a while to figure out, you got to go mine for it to go over the top. It takes a while, and I've only got one cloud this time of anything that's dilithium. There's another one. They're hard to find here. A better place to look, and again, it took me a while to find these. I've actually explored. You see this way, the little circle? It means I've been there. I've explored almost everything down here. Dyer, to the left of Dyer at the bottom, is Murasaki 312. View that one. Murasaki 312 has the most abundant dilithium mines I've seen yet. Oh, go mine that one. I'm going to send him down to mine it. It's highly competitive. You can see that some of the ships are 24, 21. They're much better than ours, and you're not going to win a contest standing toe-to-toe with some of these. I have been known to harass a few who shot me for no good reason. I mean, I get to keep... The nice thing about mining ships is they keep all the dilithium they find. There is no... if you send a battleship to mine, it has a very tiny reserve so that whoever destroys your ship gets most of what you've got. But one of the ore mining ships, they keep everything. So send an ore miner. That's the best way to go. But they're also very vulnerable. In the rock, paper scheme of things, rock, paper, scissors scheme, they'll be destroyed. That's just it. That's the way it goes. So the battles are very lackluster. There is some tactics, rock, paper, scissors. There is some grinding. You can take out these ships when you find them and destroy them, which means you have to find a system where they're just a little bit below yours. There's no way you're going to come out of a battle without some hull loss. Even that one there we fought with this ship, where I clearly dramatically overmatched them. For some reason, it takes just as long as a battle, which is very evenly matched, and I always take some damage. You might take less damage. Now, if it's under 5 minutes, it's free. You can also speed up the repair if you use dilithium crystals, which I'm earning. I'm not sure why I'm earning them, but I am. I guess I'm just a good pack rat saver. But it has a good Star Trek feel. The sound effects are good Star Trek. And of course, as you do the missions, you're going to run into Captain Kirk. Now, if you see the little exclamation mark on the lower here with the 40 on it above the Alliance symbol, if I click on that, that's some of the missions I have. And some of them are like, you can pick up, on this one here, I can pick up a new officer, 3 points for an officer. Respond to the Romulan counterattack in Klingon space. Some of it feels very Star Trek and real. This is clearly right after the movies, the reboot movies took place. So you get some of that new Romulan look. Some of them are actually escapees from that ship. You have to deal with that. What was the name of the commander on that ship? I forgot his name. Anyway, you have to deal with those fallout issues. Now, upper left, you have the ships, of course, which I've shown you. But there's officers. as you do your missions, you can recruit. Now, a recruit doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get one of these people. What you get is points, 2 or 3 points toward people. If you already have the person, like Uhura here, I've got her, you can get those points and they'll actually stack her to a higher level. I can't mess with her. She's already deployed. Chen here. I could get points and put her to a higher level, Officer Chen. Or you see the 9,454? As you're doing missions, you open crates, you get more of those points, so I could actually level her up. She's deployed too, so that was a bad choice. How about her? Rukor. Aha! Second level her up. What she brings to the ship is she's an explorer specialist. When inside an explorer, Rukor increases the weapon damage against players by 20%. So that's for PvP. And energy boost. If the opponent is a player, Rukor increases the damage made by the energy weapons of the ship by 5. So she's obviously really good on explorer ships. And I can level her up. We'll do that now. There we go. She's leveled up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's level 5. But as I go along, I might find more of her points in those chests, which will take her to another level, and I get a whole new series of points I can add to her. So that's very cool. Now, here's a point of confusion that messed me up when I first played this. There's Cadet Sulu. Hi, Cadet Sulu. He's got a nice red jacket. Keep in mind, there's also Sulu. You earn points to Cadet Sulu, not the same as Sulu. So Sulu here is the real deal. Cadet Sulu is basically, these are the starter people. They're okay. They give you some advantages. I guess the real guys, like Mr. Sulu here, he really ramps things up. He really gives you some extra bonus points. So you want to get them, but they're harder to get. So you could actually get, as we go down the list here, some of these names I don't recognize. Darwin, I suppose. Eric's, the Romulan. Okay, he was an officer on board that Romulan vessel that destroyed Vulcan in the movie. It looks to be like an early data there. 0718. Lenar, Mr. Leslie. He was an old Star Trek name. Koth. There's Scotty. There we go. Bella. Chang. There's from the movies. The first generation movies. Keenzer. Harrison, as we all know, he was Khan in the movies. Joaquin, he was from the Wrath of Khan. As we go down, you get rarer and rarer. There's Bones. Interesting, they call him Bones. They didn't call him McCoy. Spock. Stan, he was from the old series. T'Pring again. Now we have Khan. See, we have lower level again. So there's Harrison, but down here he becomes Khan. Carol, there's Kirk. Gorkon from the original movie series. Chancellor Gorkon from Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. Pike. Nero, that was his name. Commander Nero, the guy who was in the reboot movies. So you could save up for them, and the further down the tree you go, the more powerful they become. So you can have a good Star Trek-ian moment, feel like those ships. Downsides, I can't design any ships. It is very unbalanced. Like, you will be able to level up before maybe your research is all there. It's hard to find the research you need. There's no room on the station itself to get the points you need. So you have to go out and hunt for them everywhere. And then when you're out there, you're just getting continually picked off by other players. Even though I'm not PvP, if I'm mining here, okay, I'm not level 15. I can still be destroyed. So PvP doesn't actually refer to me. It refers to the stations, whether they can be hit for the resources. Yes, Claim. You're a pesky little guy. So it's got a nice Star Trek feel. It's got a little tactics involved. The rock, paper, scissors thing. Getting the right combination of ships. As I level up, I'll get another dry dock one day. Maybe I'll get a fleet of ships. Right now, because I'm doing the research I need to get the thing leveled up, I find it's more beneficial to me to have 2. Manage. Swap. Miner ships, because frankly, I'm having trouble with dilithium crystals. I want this thing to be ready to go when the time comes, but I need dilithium, and dilithium is hard to get because I've only found these 2 planets with any dilithium crystals. Glidamins is very little. I used to do glidamins till I found this one, And then it's hard to find a free spot. See, this poor guy's level 9. Technically, I could bump him up, but you know I feel bad for him. He's level 9. I'd be a jerk. I feel like a jerk if I knocked him off. I can't attack his player ship even. I don't even know why. It's easy. Why can't I attack him? Oh, target player is too low. Well, there you are. They built in a good moral structure in this. Maybe that's why some of the level 24s aren't killing me. But the battle between some of the 14s are pretty intense. So, overall, it's not a strategy game, at least not so far. Now, when I get into PvP, that might change. And that's why I'm introducing this to you now, not earlier. I didn't take you through the early days as I was figuring out, exploring, plotting through star systems. I've been playing this offline while I do Pixel Starships. By the way, to stand by for more shows on Pixel Starships. We'll explore some new strategies we're discussing. But it's been a nice little distraction. I can do a little tap, but I can set it. Nice thing is I can set this and forget. I can set it, do a couple of taps, that's it, and go to bed. The next day, either my ships are destroyed or I got a hole full of dilithium crystals. And I get these crystals officially when I send them back. Oh, by the way, it's a little hard to tell. It's misleading. I can actually, remember when I was doing the parsteel mining before and I switched this? It looks like I'm starting from scratch and like somehow I've lost the parsteel. It's on board. It is there. It's just you can't tell. This capacity, 363 of 21,000, the parsteel's in there. You just can't see it. You have to trust me on this. It's there. I used to think, oh, I lost it all when I switched. And I had to take it back to the station first and then switch. It's not true. It's on board there. So there's some things that are just not very, very clear. There is an AI that will give you guidance. She looks like that. This first one here, that's the AI. It's not bad. It's not as intrusive as Nova Empire, not by a long chalk. So at least they got that right. It was a good balance this way. But there are some issues. I wish the space combat was better. I wish it was, if it's a balanced battle, I'm okay if it lasts longer. Then if it's a completely imbalanced battle, it shouldn't take the same amount of time. I wish I had more control over the battles. If I'm actually there, I would like to be able to at least press some buttons or do something, as opposed to being a total spectator. It's very formulistic. What's the right word? It's very formula. Anyway, so I'd like a little less formula. I'd like a little more hands-on. I might consider it more of a strategy game if I had a more role to play. I'm part of an alliance. You're not a bad bunch. Some of the alliances appear to be abandoned. Nothing ever happens. Nobody ever asks for anything. Help. Oh, help all. There you go. I just pressed the help all button. Somebody just got some points knocked off. See, I have a 0 of 12 help. Without help, this will take 4 hours and 43 minutes for my shield research to complete. But if somebody helps me here, so I'm just going to click on that. Somebody there below the little test tube symbol is 0 of 12. If somebody helps me, it goes 1 of 12, and my time gets reduced. So helping one another speeds things up. It makes it a lot more palatable. That's nice. So they have some nice helping features. And of course, I can make contributions. And the more I contribute, the more people can be in our fleet and the more powerful our fleet is. So every now and again, we make a contribution and we go, Architrix. Oh, look at me. I'm still number 1 there for some of this stuff. I'll give them some of this. Yeah, I'll give them some more. Why not? What do I need all that gas for anyway? There. I help my fleet. I help my friends in my fleet, my allies. So in the inbox keeps track of the battles. It's funny. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. There's somebody who I beat not too long ago. Just now, in fact, you saw it. The delete button never really works. All I can do is mark as red. Okay. But mostly it's just defeats because often you're attacked when you're not there. Although, unlike Pixel Starships, you can be there. You can't interact or whatever, but I have moved my ship out of the way as I saw another guy. We're going back and forth, destroying each other in sort of a childish feud. If I see him coming, I'll just leave before he gets there. So I can at least do that. I can run away. Or if I see he's arriving, I'll come sneaking out and destroy him. I had a feud with someone who was higher level than I was. And I couldn't really beat him. His ships were more powerful. But then after he beat my ships, he would put a mining ship there. And I would come up with my warships were stronger than a mining ship. Destroy it and hit and run. Then I go away and I just harassed him for like a day. Just because he made me mad for destroying me for nothing. Because essentially he doesn't get any of my cargo destroying my mining ship. He just kept me from mining. I think we have a truce now, which is good, because I didn't want to spend all my week harassing him, because I wasn't mining during that time, and neither was he. So hopefully we're at a truce. So there's that. I can do little harassments. So my overall rating is it's a good, fun Star Trek-y feel. If you just want to have Star Trek, it's pretty mindless, so you don't have to think too hard. I didn't get into items, sorry. Speed ups, some material. These are the materials you accumulate through what you do that you can use to upgrade your ship. One of the criticisms I have is I had a hard time telling this Explorer part here is not the same as that Explorer part there. This one here is for low-level ships, anything with that little star on it. There's a little star just below the symbol there. It's hard to see. This one has 2 stars. You have to accumulate the right stars for the right class of ship. And some of these get a little harder to find without being on certain missions. I guess I have enough interceptors I can upgrade that part. And it takes a lot of parts to upgrade certain aspects of your ships. I can see if I can do that for you now. Swap ship. Assign this ship. I'm not really as interested in this one. I have upgrades. I can use those parts, so I can go. Wish I could do the weapons, but I don't have enough parts for that. 28 out of 50. But here I can upgrade the warp engine, so now it's a little faster. Hooray! I used some of those parts to upgrade the warp engines. I could press the level up button, but I've only got 60 of those little golden cubes, whatever they're supposed to be. What are they? Ship XP, but they don't actually say what's a cube. Anyway, I need 1600, but I'm basically off the Findra anyway. It's a bit old for me now. I'm already on Battleship, and I really like the this one here, the Tourists. These mining ships are pretty old too, but that's the best I can get. So there you are. So that's what I'm going to say about that. I just want to introduce you to this game. I have done Nova Empire in the past, and I thought I'd talk about this one here too, because it has a space combat feel that I wanted to explore it. We're exploring some other games too, so I hope you stay tuned for that. We've had recommendations for games. Not really space strategy, but I don't know. I might look at it. Anyhow, that's all I've got for you guys tonight. Thank you very much for listening, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please come to our website if you want to see more on things like this, www.pocketcaptains.com. Stay tuned, though. This is likely not going to be the last show I do on Fleet Command, because very soon I'm going to have the research I need to go to level 15. I'll be in PvP territory, and I'll tell you, for those who are not all World of Warcraft players, player versus player, we'll see if the player versus player aspect ups the strategy game aspect of this. That's what I'm hoping. So I'm not gonna pass final judgment until I crack level 15, because I think that's where all the fun is going to be. I just don't want to get my head handed to me too easily. I want to go in, at least with a fight in my ship. So I'm going to keep leveling up those researches. But when that's done, I'll bring you guys back to level 15 of Star Trek Fleet Command, and we'll see if there's any strategy game here. In the meantime, it's just a little bit of fun, fluffy, light, easygoing playing, a little bit of space combat, but not too much. Mostly it's just like moving players on a board. A lot of grind. So that's all I've got for tonight. I hope you've enjoyed the show. This has been fun. This game's fun, if nothing else. And if that's all you can get out of your day, well, try to have a little bit of fun every day. Thank you very much for listening, everybody, and good night. Get more tips at pocketcaptains.com.